Okay, this image needs some work. The issue was, and it is a lot of times in plein air, is that your sun gets away from you. You try to follow the sun. I was not trying to follow the sun. It was just, it was moving very fast. And I did have some trouble with shade and so on. The shade left me, and that really followed me up. And it can happen to anybody. So there's another thing that have to happen here. I jotted down a few in a list. First, the top right window. I want more of a horizontal, the bottom trails down, falls a little bit here. This is correct, the porch top here. I want to darken this whole right side because I'm seeing this as a focus, I'm seeing that as a focus, I'm seeing this as a focus. Too many focal points, need simplification. Simplify all of this. Darken this tree, darken this tree, darken this, and this as well. These trees, keep them blue on this side, but this needs definitely darkening. I think some grass, a different lead in a little bit. Shingles need bluing. Possibly just show a little bit of cloud formation in the top. That's about. All right, here we're lightening the tree trunk. Later, you'll notice that I have darkened the cast shadows under it, and that way the tree appears to be lighter then. So we'll see that in later in this video. I blew the porch a little bit, and then I realized that there's a problem with a lot of the drawing here, and I correct that throughout the rest of this video. We move the upstairs windows over to the left, and you'll see that soon. And then we darken the trees and pull a dark mask from the right of the picture into the image, and this will direct more of the interest to the porch on the left side and the central tree. I increase the tree mass on the right side and lighten the tree trunk to the right. I then work on the stone wall and try to make it more interesting. Continue with the greens on the far right and blue greens under the central lilac bush. Later on, I add more yellow greens under the central pine tree and grass area, and I add less saturated greens on the lawn. I then go back and forth on the lawn greens. I lighten greens here and there, and also the porch area, the greens underneath that area, and then I gray some of the greens with red in different mixtures. I begin to darken the top of the tree trunk, and I establish more darks in the pine. I added additional a dapple effect and grouped other dappled sunlight areas into more of a pattern. I find out I have to redo the window, so later I moved the windows and the one underneath that window as well. These are both of the windows on the left side of the porch. I moved the windows over to the tree to match the reference photo. The porch was extended a little and the correction was needed to match the reference. I am correcting some drawing errors due to the move into the shadows of my plein air setup. Move the porch windows to the left, and in addition I moved the porch door to the left as well. The old location of the top windows was removed. That window was removed and a darker shadow color was added under the roof eave. After that, the house definitely looked better after these drawing changes were made. Blue shadows, tree shadows were added on the roof, and the tree trunk was lightened in the center. Many cast shadows were addressed during this time. The closest tree yellow greens were put in against the foil of the darker mass. This darker tree mass was made from burnt umber and ultramarine blue, with some mixtures including a red of some type, either Alizarin Crimson or deep red. The lilac bush was worked on. Bluer shadows were massaged into it, and darker cast shadow mixtures with the darker yellow ochre mixture were added to most of the cast shadows on a house. This included orange into this mixture, burnt umber, cad yellow, and those mixtures really help to define this painting. Additional work was done around and mixtures around the eave, lighter portions of the porch roof, and the flower pots underneath the windows. The windows were embellished, and also the porch windows were darkened. Here I dressed the white, the clouds and so on, and the sky. I lighten that area up quite considerably, and this really sets off the house, especially against the purple of the light purple of the sunlit roof. final touches were made throughout. These are the final accents and so on. So enjoy. Come back again, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you next time. Bye.